The perisylvian fissure, or the perisylvian region, is the area of the brain that is important for language and communication skills. It's that green area right there. The perisylvian fissure is a demarcation that goes through it. With congenital bilateral perisylvian syndrome, you have the same fissures that go through it, but you see that there's nodular regions around it. In the second picture, that's polymicrogyria. I've made other videos on polymicrogyria, but basically your brain has sulci and gyri. Sulci are the deep parts, the gyri are the mountains. If you have too much of the mountains, then you'll have what we call polymicrogyria. Essentially, it's a neuronal cell migration abnormality, meaning as the baby's gestating and the brain is developing, certain cells don't go to the right region, so you have these abnormal areas. This specific syndrome is super rare. I actually don't think I've ever seen it, but I do know about it. It is X-linked dominant, meaning it can be passed on from mom or dad. Because it's involved in the area of communication and language, that is affected. Anytime you have polymicrogyria, you can always have seizures and epilepsy. The treatment here is with anti-seizure medications. If those don't work, ketogenic diets, VNS, those types of things can be tried. If this is in an area that can be resected, some centers can evaluate your child for epilepsy surgery. On top of that, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy are also important. But ultimately, as I always say, if there are specific genetic or congenital conditions, make sure that you guys are following with a pediatric neurologist or an epileptologist who has the expertise and can guide you in the right direction. Most big academic centers have multidisciplinary clinics, which may not be available in smaller offices.